Hey everybody, let's go over how to balance chemical equations. The first thing I want to do is take an inventory of what atoms I have on the left and what atoms I have on the right. My goal is that the number of atoms on the reactant side, so the left side, is equal to the number of atoms on the right side. So I'm going to do an inventory. I'm going to put aluminum, that's what I have. I also have oxygen. And I have the same atoms on the right side. I'm also going to draw representations of these molecules so that it is easier to see what we are doing. Okay, here are my representations of the molecules I have. I have one atom of aluminum, which I represented with pink. I have two oxygens, that's what this subscript tells us. So I drew two blue dots, and then right here I have one aluminum, so I have one pink, and I have three, that's what this subscript means. I have three oxygens, so I drew three blue dots. So I'm going to take my inventory. On the left side, I have one aluminum. Notice how I don't have any subscripts, so you have to assume you only have one. And right here on the product side, I have one aluminum. Now let's look at oxygen. Oxygen, I have a subscript of 2, so I have 2 oxygens. And right here, I have a subscript of 3, so I have 3 oxygens. Now, before we start balancing, you need to know that we never touch these subscripts. We can only change the number of atoms by changing the coefficient. Another thing you should know is that we work with hydrogen and oxygen last. So let's go ahead and look at aluminum. So I have one aluminum and one aluminum. So that's good to go. You have the same number of atoms on the left as you do on the right. And now let's look at oxygen. So you have 2 on the reactants and you have 3 on the product. Since this is the lower number, I'm going to work with the reactants. So right now I have a coefficient of 1 that is not written. So I'm going to increase that to 2. Since I have 2 of O2, I'm going to add another O2. Okay, so let's count how many oxygens I have. So I can do 2 times this subscript, which is 4, or I can count these dots. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my total is 4 oxygens. And if we look right here on the right, I have 3 oxygens. So this is still not balanced. So now I'm going to work with the oxygens on the right. Since I don't have a coefficient right here, I assume it's 1. So I'm just going to increase that to 2 and see what happens. Since I'm increasing it to 2, I'm also going to draw another dot structure to represent this aluminum oxide. So now that I increased it to 2, I have 2 aluminums. So 2 times this subscript that's not there, but we're assuming is 1. So 2 times 1. Now it is 2 aluminum. And we have 2 times 3. We have 6 oxygens. We can also count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oxygens. Now we have 6 oxygens on the right. We have 4 on the left, and our aluminums are not balanced now. So let's take care of aluminum. I have 2 on the right, I have 1 on the left, so I'm going to put a coefficient of 2. Now I have 2 aluminum, so I'm going to go ahead and change this. Our aluminums are balanced now. Now let's take care of oxygen. This is my lower number, so I'm going to increase this again. So let's go ahead and do 3 instead of 2. Going to add another O2. So now I have 3 sets of O2, so 1, 2, 3. And one way that you can count your number of oxygens is the coefficient times the subscript, so 3 times 2. That is going to be 6. And now let's check that we are balanced. So we have 2 and 2 aluminums, 6 and 6 oxygens. So you are done. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.